All right, Dana Osgood is in for Alan tonight, and as we're watching these storms move through, we want to let viewers know that if you are able to safely take any video or photos of some of what you're seeing, please do and send them to us. And want to let you know that the outages are still going up here. We've got about 7,500 people CMP is reporting without power.
He's looking at that map. That map is the red dot is the largest number of outages right now in the state. We're about 7,500 with 72 incidents reported right now.
I'm not surprised that we're seeing these power outages because one of the main threats that we've been tracking today has been these thunderstorm wind gusts, and those can just take those trees right down. The power lines go down with them. We've already seen so many storm reports of the thunderstorm wind gusts knocking down trees and power lines, blocking roads, for example. I know those will continue to come in. So if you do happen to get a video of that and is able to send it to us, please also let us know where that video was taken, and if it's blocking a road, for example, what road is being blocked. That's very, very helpful.
Definitely. And the good news is this is a quick moving day.
Yes, it has been a very busy day, but the severe weather threat is already starting to come to an end. Obviously, during the day today, we've been tracking, if we can pop our graphics up, we have the tornado watch that we've been watching. Again, very important to emphasize here, this is a watch and not a warning, and this is set to expire at 7 p.m. And as this front continues to move across the state, we will see less and less of this severe weather threat as we go into the later hours tonight. And this is what we're watching right now. This squall line was much more impressive back into areas of Vermont and New Hampshire where the conditions were better. Today we had lower humidity, we had a lot of cloud cover, and that prevents a lot of that instability. Therefore, we did still see some severe weather. We obviously have a lot of power lines down and trees being knocked down, but we have not so far seen any reports of tornadoes. And then in other areas of the state, for example, areas of northern and down East Maine have been seeing more consistent rain throughout the day today and not as much severe weather in that area. This is earlier where we had our severe thunderstorm warning moving through areas of the southern coast, and we did see that it did start to weaken as it approached the coastline here, but the squall line is more impressive down in Massachusetts. There was a tornado warning over the Worcester area earlier. And you can see where we did have the more strength for some of those stronger storms where our dew points were a little bit higher. Similar conditions back into New Hampshire, but for the rest of the state, dew points are significantly lower, and it's not going to lend itself to that severe weather production. Mainly, we've had southerly winds out ahead of that front, and we've had these strong gusty winds within this front, within those thunderstorms, but it's also been windy in general throughout the day. There were some trees down reported in the Bangor area, and even out ahead of this front, winds out of the south gusting to nearly 40 miles an hour at times. So it is going to be windy throughout the day today, whether or not you are in front of or behind this front. And behind the front, we're already starting to see some clearing out. Once you're behind it, the severe weather threat for you is over, because as this front continues to move through, it will continue to weaken. And then overnight tonight, we'll end up with a mixture of clear skies and clouds. A couple of showers may linger into areas of far northern Maine. Then tomorrow, it's going to be sunnier closer to the coast. Areas of northern Maine will see more cloud cover and a couple of showers possible. Temperatures will also be getting into the 70s. It will still be windy, though. Winds coming out of the west. Therefore, power outage chances are much less because west is a better direction for us. However, it will take longer for power to be restored because you can't put up the bucket trucks if the winds are too high. And then we're also talking a little bit about some flood threatening possible, especially in areas of the foothills and the mountains. Could see in some of those thunderstorms upwards of 2 inches of rain, especially in those areas that have already seen a lot of rain from thunderstorm activity lately. So there is a flood watch in effect. Actually, that has been expired at this point, but it was in areas of the foothills and back into New Hampshire. Looks like now that the flood threat has passed through that area, that has been expired. That's good news. So again, we're still seeing those high wind gusts associated with this system today, and then it is still going to be windy tomorrow. Again, winds out of the west, gusting about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Marine forecast sees 5 to 9 feet. We do have that gale warning in effect because of those gusty winds. The good news is, once again, that severe weather threat is starting to wind down as that front traverses through the state. And then as we get into the weekend forecast, there are chances of showers. However, it is not going to be a washout for this weekend. Brian and Amanda, it will feel a little bit cooler. Temperatures will be mostly in the lower 70s, closer to normal for this time of year, but it might feel a little bit cooler because it has been so warm lately.
Yeah, a little step backward there. Okay, Dana, thanks so much.